So many things to be thankful for. Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to be a part of your life this morning. Great things happen as you listen to the Clara Luper Show. Great things will happen as the show goes on because we have a lot that we want to share with you. Even those of you up in Colorado, even those of you out in Seattle, even those of you that are on your way back from Minnesota, even those of you on the coast where another power of the Lord will be showing up shortly. We've named all of them, but then the best part of it all is that Oklahoma City. You've opened up your arms. You've opened up your heart. You've done it once again. Not 9/11, not the bombing of the Mirror Building, but once again, Oklahoma City. Our leadership, our mayor, our governor, I guess I might as well brag on the governor too. Uh, our city council, our county commissioners, our representatives, our senators. We did it. We welcomed with open arms 1700 people that were are wondering what they're going home to. You know, the power of the Lord is everywhere. New Orleans, those people that were here in Oklahoma City, I bet you will always be bragging on us and always be telling the fact that here in Oklahoma City, you got the best care that we could share with. Now, the challenge is on for you when you get back to New Orleans to do your best to make your community a better place. I know you're gonna need a lot of nails, you're gonna need a lot of plywood, you're gonna need a lot of different things to help get that community back together. But here in Oklahoma City, we don't need that. What we need is the comments to working together. Great things happen when we work together. Great things have happened. Beautiful week that we've had, and I know that your week also has been extremely productive, extremely beautiful. And it's so good to see the faces of those people as they say, I'm going home. But then it's great to know that, hey, we are at home. We don't have to worry about that flood thing. We don't have to worry about a lot of different things that they have to worry about. But what we have to worry about is the role that we're going to play in making our state, making our county, making our community a much better place. Hey, we got a plan. That plan is to do our very best. Continue to listen. There's some people that are going to be calling in, some people that are listening that I know want to call in, but the time to call in is quickly. Don't call in at 2 minutes till 10 o'clock when we go off the air because this is a beautiful day. And at 2 minutes to 10, we plan on getting out of here too. We'll get all our paperwork together and go on and go on about our business. Go on up and continue to register voters. Continue to ask those of you who are not members of the NACP to become a member. Those of you who have young people, grand kids that are not part of the NACP Youth Council, to invite you to the Freedom Center on Monday nights, where there the NACP Youth Council continues to meet. Last couple of weeks, you've heard a lot about the Freedom Fiesta, and you probably will continue to hear a lot about it because you haven't seen it yet. Just wait till you see the presentation that that we plan on putting out on the OETA TV, on all the other stations. Maybe I don't know what station you look at, but it won't be on no Nickelodeon or nothing like that. But it is on the. It will be there for you to look at. Freedom Fiesta. It's over with. We're getting ready for another thing that's going to happen that affects all of us. I'm talking about the state fair, but we'll get back to that. But today's program, I have to think about a young man that has done so much for our community. Young man that during the Freedom Fiesta that we honored, and when I say we, I'm talking about the NACP Youth Council, Willard Moore. As you continue to listen, I'm going to tell you a lot more about Willard Moore, and come from a little small country town. He's not running for president. He's not running for no new office, but what the office that he ran for, that he won, many a year ago, he did a consistent and a great job. He just didn't get in there and want to be president. he got in there and said, I'm going to do my very best. Now, he graduated from another little small school way back when, in 1946. Willard Moore made a difference, started making a difference. He didn't know what that difference was going to be, but he knew that he could make a difference. Now, he's always been a student, great student, but right now, I don't want to give too much up. So sit back, knock on that neighbor's door, knock on that on your kid's door, because we got some inspirational news for those young people that if you're close to 18, close to 17, we're not going to talk you out of sagging. We're going to talk you into going. Is sagging the right word? Dragging, sagging, where you dripping. But what we're going to ask you to do is to respect yourselves and to respect our community because we can make a difference. So sit back. I don't know if they ought to relax. If we ought to relax now, but Mom, what do you think? Okay, well, she done told me. There the buzzer go off. So let's go to this caller. How are you doing, caller? Good morning. Welcome to the Clara Luper Show, where we're live and in beautiful living color on September the 6th, 2008. Who'd have thought it? Hey, we don't have no rain, nothing but beautiful sunshine. The Lord has blessed us. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Calvin.
Yes.
Deacon Palmer.
Oh, okay. Deacon Palmer from that Fifth Street Baptist Church.
That's right.
All right. A heck of a deacon, heck of a neighbor. What's going on, Deacon Palmer? How are you doing this morning?
Today is my baby daughter's birthday, Loretta Grayson.
Your baby daughter?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Loretta.
Okay, baby Loretta. How old is she now? About 21?
No. She's about 44.
Oh, Deacon now. Okay. Well, we'll remember that.
Okay.
Is there anything special you'd like to share with our listening audience? I know that you've been on the in front of the TV. You've seen everything that's happened at the Democratic convention. You've seen the Republican convention. You've seen the beautiful commercials and all that. Anything special you'd like to say? I got a couple minutes here.
Well, I think Barack Obama gonna get it, but I just hope he may survive once he do get it.
Oh, now let's don't go there. What do you mean by survive? By the pressures of being the president of the United States? That's no pressure for no black man, no black anything. That's no pressure for a politician. All you got to do is get up in there. Because he survived Chicago, I'm sure.
Get in there, but he got to stay there.
Okay. Well, maybe we can help him. Do you know somebody that's not a registered voter? I know you don't. But if you run across somebody that's not a registered voter, make sure that they become a registered voter, not only to vote for the candidate of your choice, but to vote for the candidate of their choice, if they have a choice.
Yes, if I find anybody, I'll send them up there to get them registered.
If you find it. I know you'd be like Willard Moore would be. Are you an NAACP member? Yes. If you're not, then if you are, then go find somebody that's not. Let's make sure that they become a part of the greatest organization in the nation. All right.
Have a blessed day. How's my mama doing?
She's doing fantastic.
That's good.
She's listening. She just buzzed me a while ago to make sure that I didn't talk too much and not say the wrong thing. So sit back. Continue to listen. Tell that neighbor. Tell that friend.
Listen, I'm going to say, hello, Mama.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
Okay. You got it. She heard it. So, hey, Lex, help me out of this one, man. I want to go to New Orleans on the bus, but I don't like riding on buses no more. No telling when to come back. But I do enjoy this particular song. We got to go from here. We got to go because there are a lot of places that we want to go. Gates Barbershop is one place there at 2609 North Martin Luther King. Also, there is a Super Grocery Store at 23rd Martin Luther King. All of the construction work is done. All of the barriers are down. It's easier to get there to hometown, 23rd Northeast Martin Luther King. But I have on the line a young man, I think, that wants to make a difference. I think a young man that we'll let him tell you what he plans on doing, what he hopes to do for our community. Good morning, caller. How are you doing? I know who you are, but share with the audience who you are. Hello, caller. Hello. Well, he left. Did he leave me? he left me. Good morning, caller. How are you doing?
Good morning, Calvin Luper. How are you this morning?
I am fantastic. That voice sounds so familiar.
Well, yeah, it's your number one nightmare keeps coming back to you. It's Willard Lindsay.
Willard Lindsay, how can you be a nightmare, man? You have a dream. You're working for that dream.
We
You
are.
you're working for a dream not only for yourself but for the community. Willard Lindsay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Clara Luper Show on a beautiful Saturday morning, where not only are we going to talk about it, but we're going to get out in this community. We're going to be about it. What's happening? What's going on?
Well, like I said, we visited, and I said, well, I try to stay in touch with you and check back with you every other week or so, and it's kind of talk with your viewing or listening audience. And so I was just out here still trying to see how we can promote good government and get a voice of the African American community heard back at the Oklahoma State Legislature.
Okay, Willard, now you're talking about listening to us. You're talking about looking at us via the Clara Luper Show. But what is your plan? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, right now I think we're still trying to gear up for November 4th.
Why?
We finished up Democrat caucus, national caucus meetings and conventions, and Republican convention meetings, but I'm going to still argue that we still need to stay focused on Oklahoma, specifically Oklahoma County. And I don't think it's necessarily Democrat or Republican. It's understanding the process. Says we have to be talking in the House of the majority. And I still like to believe I can get in that room, and if so, I know my way around and can get that message.
Whoa, you're going a little fast for me, Willard.
Oh.
You're going a little fast for me. Now, I know you, and I know what your intentions are. I know what your dream, your nightmare dream, you never told me that one, but I know what you are dreaming about. Now, do you have a good thing? Do you feel safe in your neighborhood? Do you share respectful thoughts? Is justice a reality? I mean, these are the things that are on your pamphlet, but what is your real plan on making a difference? How you expect us to make the right choice and expect you to be a strong voice? Or will you be like other Republicans we know, not talking, you may be going to Alaska to get somebody to help you. But how do we know you're going to make the right choices to help benefit our community? And when I say benefit, what part of the Oklahoma City, Oklahoma County will you be representing, or are you trying to represent?
Well, I'm asking the voters of House District 99 to give me their confidence to let me enter the room within that Republican caucus and speak about the matters of concern to them, whether it's housing, whether it's health, whether it's education, public safety. The commitment on my part is, of course, if you look at my campaign positions, is that I think we need to go in some different directions, but they're not so much different than what the outcomes are that African Americans want in House District 99. I believe that economic development is the cornerstone of the answer for some of the issues that we talk about in healthcare, education. I think if there's more disposable income in the pockets of constituents of House District 99.
Oh, you touched the base there. What do you mean? How you gonna do that? Being a representative for District 99 here in Oklahoma.
Well, taxes are always important issues, and I think there's some fundamental differences there. If we reduce taxes, as far as the burden on the low and middle income household earners, we increase what we call disposable income. You pay less in taxes, you bring more home when your paycheck. Make it just cutting to the chase. And I think we need to talk about how we realign taxes in Oklahoma, specifically as it relates to people that are at or below poverty, and perhaps realign some of the tax incentives for the rich.
Excuse me for laughing there, but you said poverty level, and some of us have been down so low we can't tell when poverty hit. Don't know if we're in poverty. But my concern about the economic development of what a state representative could do is, what can you really do? You're just one person up there, and then being a black Republican, what good? I mean, how can I trust you? What can I not trust you? But how can I trust you to make a difference?
Well, trust is a funny word because in many cases trust is earned.
Okay.
And so when we think of, can I trust Willard? Can I trust an African American that happens to be a Republican? The only way you learn to do that is by having the courage to let them go forth and speak. So there are 57 votes in the state legislature that are controlled by Republicans today.
Talk a little slow now, because I'm listening a little. I'm listening a little slow, and I'm writing slower.
All right.
There are 57 something somewhere.
There's 57 votes that are controlled by the Republican caucus in the state legislature. It takes 51 votes to make your good deal happen or to stop a bad deal from happening. If there's not someone talking to that 57 votes, you rely solely on the 44 votes in the Democrat caucus to move legislation in economic development issues, health care, education. That's not going to happen. 44 votes will never bring closure to the issues of importance to African Americans unless we go to the other side of the aisle and get the additional 7 votes. What can I do? What am I prepared to do?
Now, that is the bottom line. Now, okay, there you are on the other side of the aisle. There are 47 Democrats by ... Democrat on each side. And then what difference are you going to make? How are you going to cross the aisle and entice any of them to vote for one of your bills?
Well, here's what here's it's not as a member of the majority caucus, we are in a position to drive policy. Now, surely I have to persuade 50 people to agree with me on any given day, but there's 57 people sitting over in my caucus. I representing one vote means I only need the 50. If equally so, we have capable representatives. You take Mike Shelton sitting in the Democrat caucus. There's no reason I would believe that the Democrats that listen to him would disagree if he was saying the same thing, or we were both saying the same things about the issues that are important to African American constituents.
Well, you're gonna have to hold on then. You hit another nail on the head. Now you done hit me in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You done brought up Mike Shelton. He just recently received an honor from the OPEA for being outstanding legislator of the year.
Uh-huh.
Then all that.
Well, we commend him for it.
Will you do me a favor? Will you hold on, or will you call me back in 5 minutes? I have a long distance call that I must take. Okay.
Okay,
I'll they did not call. They did not call collect. But
Oh.
that's the good part about it. But I don't want them to hold too long. But hold on.
I'll save that thought.
Okay. Will you call me back? Because I will be here. I will be here another 26 more minutes because I too am concerned about what's happening in District 99.
Mm-hmm.
No, not 99.
District 99 and 97, I guess.
Senate District 48. The
All
Oklahoma
African American
County.
districts.
I'm so proud of what they all did together. From what I done heard now, those people that got on that bus and say they're going back to New Orleans, they might be back, but at least they get a chance. They had a chance to receive some of this Oklahoma Thunder hospitality. So whatever you want to do, you do. Well, you hold? Okay. All right. Good morning. This other caller, because great things are happening because you're part of this, the Clara and Luper Show, where we are bragging about the hospitality that our community is showing. Well, we're bragging about how religious communities stood up. We're bragging about how the Red Cross and the county and the city and the state government stood up to make people welcome in the midst of a tragedy. How are you doing, Colin? That's a whole bunch just to say something.
It sure is, Calvin, and this is Marilyn Hildred.
Oh,
I've
my
been
goodness.
holding on. This is not long distance, but I feel like I'm a long way from where you are because I am very concerned this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned because we have not registered every citizen in our community to vote, and this election is coming up, and I am standing here looking at my beautiful mom, and my mom is saying we have to register everyone in our community. That is the real issue.
Good morning, Merle. And
Yes, Calvin.
I thought it was long distance from the You must realize we're here in a new blue room and things are different. You kind of get a new perspective on things. But I didn't mean to keep you on hold. Now, what do you mean register people? And if somebody by now, and they're intelligent enough to be a part of this show, and they don't know somebody that should be listening, and somebody that's not registered to vote in Oklahoma County,
Calvin, there's a
amazing.
lot of people that are not registered to vote in Oklahoma County. If you change your name, if you change your address, you need to re-register to vote. We have to make a demand on our community to get up off our laws and get everybody out there registered to vote.
But Merlin, isn't there a way I can vote if I go to church every Sunday? Doesn't that count?
You might vote for the offering plate, but you're not going to vote in the presidential election.
Okay. It might
Now,
vote.
let me tell you something else,
Tell
Calvin.
me.
Now, I have followed this Democratic convention and this Republican convention. I've followed the speakers, the vice presidents, the vice president nominees, and the presidential nominees. And I want to tell you something. We can no longer sit back and expect things just to happen. Because if we do not do what is right to do as far as registering to vote and as far as getting our people out to vote, we're going to be in big trouble. We're going to need every vote in America that we can get. Every vote must count. And you can't count. It can't count. Your vote can't count unless you are actually registered to vote. We're going to be registering at Freedom Center. They're registering in front of Oddwells. We'll be up there Monday night registering to vote. Bring your friends and bring your family. And one question I want to ask your radio listening audience. Have you ever been called by a national news network to get your opinion on the presidential election? My question to your intelligent radio listening audience, have you ever been called by a national, the Nelsons, or any of those news media to get your opinion about who will win the national election?
Well, why don't we start that off before we go to the audience, and while they're thinking about it, you're asking, have you ever been a part of a survey, a presidential survey? Have you ever been a part of any survey that would make a difference? So they say on the networks, on the TVs, and all that stuff. Is that what you're asking?
But I'm
me?
talking about on the national level. Has anybody ever called and asked you who you were supporting for President of the United States? That's what I'm asking, Calvin. Very simple. Now, I've been around on September 17th, will be 61 years.
Woo!
And I have never, ever been asked that question by anyone, but according to the polls, that Obama is running neck to neck with McCain. So my question is, who really is?
Who are they asking?
Who are they asking? The
Right.
question is simple.
Well,
They're
Merlin,
not asking me. Maybe someone in your radio listening audience can tell us because they might be asking them. But I've never, in all my life, and I've missed very few elections.
you missed
I
them. How
voted
you
on
missed them?
all of them.
Okay, good.
And but no one has ever asked me my opinion.
Well, Merlin,
Have they ever asked you?
well, now I'm not gonna get off into my personal business and
Calvin, no,
whose
it's very
calls I
important.
get. It's
very
not that
important.
important because evidently they have not been worried about how I'm going to vote. Because 672-1220 is the number that I want you to call in on. If you have been asked by any so-called national polling deal, if you've ever been called and asked to be a part of a survey on any election at any year, any presidential election at any time, just any election. Lex, have you ever been a part of a survey? Well, he's with your crowd, Merle. Now, intelligent listening audience, that's 2 out of 20,000 right here around the next couple of blocks, and none of us have been called so far. The phone has not rung with anybody that has been a part of it. But we'll keep asking. And to ask me that question, Merle, of course I have. Well, we'll go to that. But what else do you have
And Calvin, I have news for you.
News?
And next week, I'm going to make a major announcement about the Obama campaign here in Oklahoma City. I am so excited. And you have your listeners to stay tuned because we're going to work this thing.
God,
And I am calling.
you are calling.
I am calling
about this
for
Obama thing.
For all people that are interested in America and are interested in the welfare of our young people. I ask you to become involved. And
Right.
not only in the Obama campaign, I ask you to become involved in the voters registration campaign. I ask you to take out your NACP memberships. Now, a lot of you promised me that you were going to take out your memberships, but I haven't seen your name on the roll. $30 for adults and $10 for young people. Take out your NAACP memberships. Those that are leaders in our community, you have a responsibility. Ministers, teachers, educators, doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs, you have a responsibility to become part of the oldest, most revered.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Merlin. Now, we know that we reached out across our great state of Oklahoma.
That's right.
We know that we reached out to the East Coast and the West Coast.
That's right.
And all the way, evidently, to Alaska. And definitely down in Mexico. Did you talk about what kind of chief?
Indian chiefs.
Indian chiefs. You think the Indians are... Okay.
Yeah,
Indian chief. Yes,
you know
right.
history.
I know
I don't have
some
to
history.
teach you Oklahoma American history because all of us are interwoven within each other. We're not just pure black or pure white. We're Indian, Mexican. We're all mixed up. German. I had a friend of mine that had their DNA test.
Uh-oh.
Black as the ace of spades and had German and Austrian in their blood system. All of us are just one of us. When God made one of us, he made all of us.
Thank you, Lord. Well, Merlin, I appreciate you sharing that expertise with us. We're going to keep the line open and see if any of the people that are listening, even though they may be driving, even though they may be kicked back with a cup of coffee or just kick back enjoying themselves, listening to the show. Maybe they have gotten that call from the Nielsen's. Maybe they've gotten that call from some other agency that have asked them, hey, who do you think is going to win this election?
Well, they didn't ask me.
Well, should we
I'm
ask
waiting
you?
on them.
Okay.
I'm waiting on them to call me.
Waiting on, well, that's the best.
I'm waiting on them to call me.
Merlin, may I ask you now?
Yes.
Yeah, who's going to win the next presidential election?
Obama. I've already had my reservations to the inauguration.
So
We're
going
to Washington.
You sound like a mama for Obama. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, I'm an American for Obama.
American?
I'm a black American for Obama. I'm proud, and I'll say it loud.
All righty. Okay, well, what can I do? Well, Merlin, I have another call on hold here. Let's see where they're going. Oh, I know. Let's get more personal. Let's get more direct.
Yes.
The upcoming elections here in the Oklahoma, in District 99 and District 48 and all that, are you going to announce now who you're going to support or who you're going to vote for?
No, I'm not.
Okay, see, that might be why nobody's calling you. But thank you for being a part of this, the Clara Luper Show, where we're live and in beautiful living color. And there's something going on out there at 730 West Britton Road. Not only Allstate Insurance, but there's another thing,
Uniquely You Boutique. And come out there because starting Wednesday, we're going to get rid of all the overloads of shoes that we have. They're dialables. We need to get rid of them. And come out there. We offer you a deal you can't refuse.
Well, we heard it. Uniquely You. We'll remind everybody again. Uniquely You
Calvin.
Boutique. Well, congratulations, Merlin, on being the outstanding agent.
Oh, I thought you were going to congratulate me on being with Allstate. It's my anniversary this week.
Oh,
I've been there since 1974. Hello.
1974, and then you were one of the first blacks to be there and still able to be there?
Yes, Lord. First female, Calvin.
Something's different.
But I'm standing on the backs of so many that's given so much for me to have that opportunity. I'm not naive enough to believe that I did it by myself. Hallelujah. Goodbye, Calvin.
Goodbye. Hallelujah with you too. Hey, sis.
Yes.
Let the world know. Let me share it with the world. I love you. Be strong.
Okay.
Say what you're doing, okay?
All right, bye-bye.
Tell Mama said hello, and if she wants to call in, she can call too.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have some great things happening, not only out there at 730 West Britton Road, but there's some great things that will be happening right there on the northeast side of town. Not at 23rd Martin Luther King, except that the barriers are down. The street is supposed to be cool. I don't know how the lights are working. but that don't turn left, don't turn right signs are down. But the NAB vets have something going on. We'll get back to that. Let me get this other caller, and we'll go from there. Good morning, caller, again. Thank you for holding on.
I'm still
You,
holding with you guys.
yeah, okay. Speak up a little, Danny.
Okay, I'm still holding with you. This is still Willard.
Okay. Have you ever been called by a by anybody, national pollster, and been asked who you're going to vote for president of the United States?
Not for president of the United States. No, I've been polled before
You have?
for other elections, but not for the president.
Okay. Well, let me get your opinion on who you would vote for the candidates that are running in District 99.
Well, I would vote for
Oklahoma's.
me. Unfortunately, that's a trick question. That's going to be a pretty close slam dunk deal. I'd vote for myself.
Okay, and you are again
Willard Lindsay.
Willard Lindsay, and you would vote for yourself. Well, Willard, we're counting on you to make a difference. You say you can. You can cross the aisle. You can be over there in the room where, out of all those other Republicans, out of all the Democrats over in another room, and you think you can take your little votes over there and then get the Republicans to vote solidly with you, and maybe. As we look at it, do you think we need some ministers out there with you?
Wow.
Should we take a prayer-a-thon bus out there with Willard Lindsay or with our legislatures? And will that help us get some of the things that we need here in District 99?
Well, see, I believe there's a proper place for faith. I really do. I believe my faith I take with me to the legislature. And so prayer and I think ministers can be very, very helpful in preparing the hearts and minds of voters to get engaged in government, good government. But I'm not advocating that we convert our democracy to a theocracy. So I have some strong concerns about what is the rightness of what the faith or the church should get involved in.
You got me again, a theocracy. Now, what is that?
Well, theocracy is where the religious leaders determine the outcomes of elections and set the scope for government. Here's an important thing that Martin Luther King said back in 1963. He said that the church must be reminded that it is not the master or the servant of the state. I'm a very strong constitutionalist, Calvin, as it relates to the separation of church and state. Our First Amendment clause of our Constitution said it's not proper for government to establish what is the matters of the church. So we don't do morality in government. We do legality. We do what is legal. Speed limit, what is a crime. Morality should come from the church, and I think it has a proper place to help people understand what is moral. And so if the legislature don't legislate morality, I would argue that the church shouldn't be trying to establish what is legal, and that being what is the politically correct.
Well, anything the church does is legal.
Should be moral.
Should be moral.
Yeah, legality is something we agree 50% of the people in the room will determine whether the speed limit is 55 miles an hour. That's a legal limit for driving. So I think that line can get blurred real quick, and I think if we cross those lines, that individuals that do that engage in partisan activity in the name of church invite the scrutiny of the state. And so we want to make sure that we stay clear of that.
Well,
we don't want the government telling churches what they can and can't do.
Brother Lindsay.
Yeah.
Should I say Brother Lindsay?
Brother Lindsay, I am a man of faith. That'll work for me.
Are you a member of the NAACP?
I was a member since I was a little boy. I may need to renew. I don't know what the current status is.
Well, you need to check. You need to check with us there at the Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Look forward to talking with you again. May I invite you to call back to the show?
I would love to do so, and I'll probably do that in another 2 weeks if I keep stumbling
2
around
weeks?
this. Well,
we might need to know next week because we're making up our mind. Maybe one of our audience, besides yourself, will call in and say that they've been asked by a pollster who they're going to vote for House District 99. You know who you're voting for. We don't.
I know who I'm voting for. I most certainly do. I believe I can get in the room, and if I get in the room, I can get the job done.
Okay. All right. A black Republican wanting to make a difference, representing a black, predominantly black district. Am I correct?
That's correct. Same people, same message. What we're debating today is who's the right messenger.
There's a survey out, but I share that more with people,
okay,
with the audience, because that survey is something that really brings your attention to how somehow, we've got to make a difference out there at the state capitol. So goodbye, Lindsay.
All right, we'll talk with you
Goodbye,
later.
Willis. Hey, man, if somebody wants to work with you, what do they have to do?
Just give me a call, 751-6671. We'd be happy to talk with them, see how they can get involved. Let's do some meet and greets, get out and shake the hands with some folks, and get to know the person personally.
All righty, 751 something.
751-6671.
All righty. Okay, thank you so much.
We'll talk with you more in the days ahead.
All right, we appreciate it. Hey, and make sure that anybody, well, I know that if you're plan on running for an office, make sure that anybody you see that's not a registered voter becomes one, okay?
I'll do my dead level best to make sure that happens.
Well, all righty, we got it.
All right, then.
It's another young man out there that has been doing it not just for 1 year and not for just 2 years, but for over 50 years. Young man that has not only talked that talk, but he never run for a political office. But he did come from a little country town, Cushing, Oklahoma. He did graduate from a little country school in Cushing, Oklahoma, Booker T. Washington. He was an employee there out of that Tinker Air Force Base, where we've seen new things happening there for 35 years. He was also, he's been with Tabernacle Baptist Church for 50 years, my goodness. He's a deacon, Sunday school teacher, and a member of the choir. He also organized and directed the men's church choir. Brother Willard Moore is well known in this community as a civic leader, a human rights servant, a former local brotherhood president, where he served as district president for 4 years and held the office of state president, for 17 years. I started to tie that in with McLean because McLean was in the Senate 22 years and hadn't made a difference. But evidently, Willard Moore made a lot of difference in 17 years. Hey, we recognize him once again for being not only a member of the NACP, but for making a difference in our community. Remember that, so much has happened with the NACP during the years that he's been state treasurer. I need to know that commercial is coming about, that event is coming up, but we'll get to that one. But in the process of getting to it, can I catch this call? Good morning to you. How are you doing, caller? Okay, got to get the attention over there. Lose a little bit while you gain a little bit. How are you doing this morning? Great things happen because you're listening to the Clara Luper Show, reminding you they're a hometown. Good morning, caller. What's going on? Okay. Miss you again. We'll try this call.
Mother?
Huh?
Or do you want me to share who I think the Lord told
who are you?
Told us to vote on? This is Ms. Boyd.
Okay.
Out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. This is coming from the Lord giving this writing about your mother on Sunday night, and then I shared it on Monday. I said her being a teacher, I thought that was good for that. But if you think I don't have time, I can read it I'm sure, on the next program.
Right. Well, we're down to a few more minutes, but then may I ask you a couple questions?
I'll hurry.
About how
it
long will
doesn't
it
take
take?
too long.
Well, we don't want to rush it because
okay,
this
why
is
don't I
a
read it on the next
show.
program? But let me tell you what I think the Lord told in the writing that McCain was the man, and I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm just saying that's what the Lord spoke to me. And then I saw in the paper this week, I was amazed when I saw the president, the headlines, McCain's the man.
Wait a minute.
That's President Bush's.
You made me drop my earphone here. You said McCain is the man to vote
yeah,
for.
well, I didn't know the Lord spoke that to me. I'm just telling you what he spoke, and I read it.
The Lord said it.
I'll read it again for you one of these days. I don't have it handy to me right now, but
I'm sure
but,
I can't stand that.
Then the president in the headline said, McCain's the man. Well, I got a witness there.
But who you? Okay, the Lord. You saying the Lord told you to not to vote
no,
for?
he said McCain was the man.
But who are you going to vote for president of our United States?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
McCain. And I like Obama, but I'm going to vote for McCain.
Girl, you got a lot of heart. You got a lot of heart. But then I appreciate that. That's the beauty of the red, white, and blue flag.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of America, that you can vote
That's
for whoever
right.
you choose. And so I'm assuming that you're a registered voter. I'm not going to ask you to go in no detail about your name, address, and phone number.
And you know, I called
maybe
in.
some people that disagree with you, but
Oh,
that's
you know
the great
what?
thing about America. We can make a difference, and we can make a difference working together. But I got to
And you
get
know
off of
what,
here. I'm running down.
Okay, Calvin. Oh,
Okay.
I had a writing about President Bush too, and it also mentioned Elvis. Our God is marching on. When
Well,
President
no,
Bush.
I don't want to hear about Bush and Elvis and McCain all in one breath.
Well,
Here
let's
on the
send him
Clara
out.
Luper
Let's
Show.
send him out with a blessing. Let's send
Hey,
him
you
out
know
with a
what?
blessing.
If you don't know nobody that's a registered voter, invite them to come by the Freedom Center. I got three. Invite them to come by the Freedom Center. Or go by Otwell's, where I know the Oklahoma County Democratic Party will be registering people to vote. All right?
Okay, we love you,
Okay.
Calvin. Bye-bye.
All right. Love you for your opinion. Good luck. I hope the Lord don't call nobody else with that. But then I can't tell the Lord what to do. But I do know what's happening on September the 13th, starting at 8 o'clock a.m. till 5 o'clock out in the historic Edwards community. Now, there's a garage sale that like you've never seen. There will be different homes throughout the community that will be having garage sale items out on the front yard. Now, the Edwards Edition, that's what I still call it, Edwards Historic Community. But Edwards Edition is from 23rd to Northeast 10th. Then on Bryant to Northeast Page, that is what we have always called Edwards Edition. Now, if you need any additional information before now and the 13th, before you go through the community, 23rd to 10th Street, Bryant to Page Street, you give this number a call, 424-3967 or 427-0967. They will be happy to give you more information. But then, you know where Edwards Edition is if you've been in Oklahoma just a minute. Great things have happened. Boy, would you believe somebody called me? I got one. But I got to do this in the next minute. I'm glad that Dr. Walker, David, that you're out of the hospital. But Ruth Ann up there in Boulder, Colorado, I'm glad that Walter's doing much better. But better than that, not if it can be better. Loretta Grayson, this song goes out to you. Let me take off my earphones because I won't be invited to sing tonight. Good morning. Oh, wrong song. Hot diggity, wrong tree. Happy birthday, Loretta. Happy birthday, Loretta. Happy birthday, Loretta. Happy birthday to you. I wish you a happy birthday. See you as we go through the voting line. Bye-bye now. Hey, be strong. Love you dearly. Make sure that you make a difference in our community. Great things happen if you make a difference.